What's up, y'all? It's Wednesday, about 10:30, and I'm headed out here to check out what's going on with some ammo today. I've actually been out a couple times this week. Went by Rural King yesterday, as a matter of fact. Didn't have my camera with me, but they had some pretty good stock in there, so I figured we'd run by again this morning and see what's going on in there. As far as my local shop, I know they've got a few new things in, so I'm looking forward to see what they got down there. So let's start out by running into Rural King, and I'll show y'all what they got today. All right, y'all, in the Rural King, looks like they got a bunch of stuff in here, like I was saying. Even got some 22 TCM arms core. I hadn't seen that in forever. 40 grain HPs there, $18.99 on that. A lot of different critical defense stuff, punch. All this is 40. Trying to see if I see anything unusual or at a super good deal. Looks like the Winchester white box is now Winchester black box here, 115 grain, 40 bucks on those. Got 45 HST, critical duty, critical defense. Looks like the FMJs is $23.99 or so for 45. Got some Federal 10 FMJ here for $33.99. Blazer 10, $26.99. Looks like they're 9 mils around $16.99. Got some more 22 mag up here. These arms core 22 mag, $9.99. I always grab some of them, so I'll get some of those for sure. 22 LR Stingers. The 22 LR arms cores, $350. A little bit of 17 HMR down here to Game Point, and some VMAX, $16.99 on those. Some more 30 Super Carry over here. A little bit of 20 gauge, some 10 mil up there. Some more fast doves. So they got quite a bit in here today. The target loads, the gun club stuff, those are up to $9.99 when they were $7.99, so a little bit higher on that. Got some in 20 gauge down there now too. 350 Legend, some 30-06 Power Shock there, 30-06 Winchester Power Point, 450 Bushmaster for $38.99, 308, several different kinds of 308 from Hornady, 6.5 Creedmoor Hornady there to match stuff for $36.99. 6.5 PRC, 50 bucks for that, so that's some expensive stuff. A lot more different 308 here. More 6.5 Creedmoor Power Shock. I don't know if I have any of that. I need to see what kind of 6.5 Creedmoor I have before I go picking any more up. A couple different kinds of Winchester here. They got the Deer Season 125 grain and the Power Point 129 grain. 7.62x51 Aguila there for $21.99, $22.99 on the 6.5 Creedmoor. So quite a nice variety of stuff in here today. All right, y'all, made it out to Rural King. As you saw, like I was mentioning, they got a bunch of stock in there now. Pretty good selection, pretty good variety of stuff. Now, there's a few things that they are missing in there that my local shop has, so either way, I'm pretty good and as far as being able to get some stuff. So I didn't grab a whole lot in there this time, but I did get some of that arms core 22 mag for $9.99, because you really can't pass up 22 mag for $9.99. So I think from here, I'll run into the Walmart just to give you a quick peek of what they got, and then I'll swing by the local shop. Like I say, there's a few things in there that I know they got that I want to pick up, and then I'll head back to the house and show y'all what I ended up with. Quick little look into Wally World here again. As y'all can see, this place is stocked up pretty good. They got several different 30-30s over there. Got some core locks for $24.96. I'll probably grab a couple boxes because I'm not sure if I actually have any core lock. 30-06, 243, 270, 6.5 Creedmoor. I mean, this Wally World's got a little bit of everything. 300 Win Mag, 45, 70, tons of different 22, 308, 22, what is that? 222 Remington down there. Thought that said 223 for a second. 7.6251, bunch more 22 LR and stuff down here. Bunch of different shot shells over there too. Everything looks like except 410. All right, quick scan through the local shop here, y'all. I actually already see some new 10 mil here, some Handgun Hunter there, that Monoflex for 37 bucks. I'll probably get some of that just because I hadn't seen that before. 357 SIG, the 9 mil. I think I've got most of this 9 mil. More 9 mil, 357. I believe somebody wanted me to check out this 125 HTP, but we did realize it's the same as the 125 UMC, but I might still get that anyway just so we can do a direct comparison. 40, I think that's looking the same as far as what I can tell. Still got all that large bore stuff down here. 44, 45 Colt, 454, the SOCOM 458, 500 Smith, 380, I believe is still looking the same. That Winchester white box stuff, just I might see if I can get a deal on that just to grab a box of test. I really don't want to pay what that's marked. 38, 45 ACP. I think that looks the same. Still got a bunch of different types of powder, and it looks like they got quite a few more primers than when I was just last in here. Got the Winchester small pistol for $7.99. Federal small pistol, same, $7.99. They got small Magnum pistol, got Magnum rifle, small rifle, tons of rimfire, as y'all seen in here last time. I got a couple of those Magnum 22 mags. Hunting stuff, y'all know the deal there, a little bit of everything. I don't see anything new from when I was just last in here, but pretty much any hunting type caliber you can think of, they've got it in here. Same deal on the shot shells, 12, 20. They just had a bunch of 410, but I don't think they do now. Somebody was asking me about 16 gauge. They got some 7.5 16 gauge there for $19.99. But about the same story, a little bit of everything you might want to look for in here. All right, y'all, we're back at the house again. It actually ended up a pretty good week this week after the stuff I found at my local shop to do some testing with, and a couple of decent deals at the RK, and I had some stuff sent to me. So like I say, pretty good week this week. Before I jump into it and show you what I got, if y'all would reach down and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you got them notifications turned on. All of that stuff really does help. That's a way you can help out for free, so I really do appreciate that. But let's jump on into it and I'll show you what I ended up with. So as y'all saw in the RK, like I mentioned, they've got some good stock in there now. They've got a lot of stuff that I hadn't seen in a while. That 22 TCM, they actually had Aguila 22 short in there after I got to looking, several more kinds of 17 HMR. So a lot of nice stock coming in there. Hopefully it stays that way and we're getting to a point where you don't have to worry about finding much of anything. But that being said, the only thing I got out of there this time was some of this Arms Core 22 mag. This is the 40 grain jacketed hollow points. This stuff is $9.99. Y'all know pretty much every time it comes in, it's that same exact price, and you can't help but get some at $9.99 for a 22 mag right now. That's a great price, and I've run quite a bit of this, even in stuff that people claim to have problems cycling, it'd be finicky with ammo. I hadn't ever had any problem out of this stuff. So $9.99, like I said, I got 4 boxes of that. And then from my local shop this week, like I said, I knew they had a couple of things that I wanted to pick up for testing purposes. One of them was this 357 mag Remington HTP. This is the 125 grain semi-jacketed hollow point. Y'all know I did a test on this versus 158, but I didn't have the 125 in HTP. I only had it in UMC, so I'm gonna probably do a little comparison with the UMC and the HTP. Now, I'm pretty sure the only difference is the nickel plating on these HTPs, and somebody in the comments even said that they had contacted Remington and asked about that, and they were told that the only difference was the nickel plating. So that should be an interesting test to see the difference. I got 2 boxes of that. Like I say, these were $28.99 per box. And then staying with the 357 mag and Remington HTP, they also had it in 110 grain for 357 mag. Now, I can't remember if I've got 110 grain 357 mag at all. I know I don't have it in this HTP, or if I do, it's 38 special. I think I have some 125 38 special if this stuff will come out the box. But there you see basically the same thing, just 110 grain instead of the 125. So I know for sure, like I say, I didn't have any of this, so I grabbed a couple while I was there. This stuff again, $28.99 per box. And then as y'all saw, they had a couple of new 10 mil also. One of them was this Hornady handgun hunter stuff, $36.99 a box for this stuff. 10 mil, it's the 135 grain monoflex. The velocity is only saying 1,315 feet per second. So 135 grain projectile, that's already pretty weak for a 10 mil in my book, but we'll see how they do. It's that round, it's got the goo in the middle of it, the little clear stuff. So curious to see how these do. Usually I'll get a couple boxes, but at $36.99, I don't know how these things gonna do. I just grabbed 1 box for now. So then next up in there, y'all saw they had a couple new primers in there. One of them was this Remington number 9.5M Magnum rifle primers. I don't actually have any of these specific ones. I have some other Magnum stuff and all, but since I didn't have any of these and they had them in there, I figured I'd grab a few sleeves of these. $8.99 for these. Not a good price, but it is what it is right now on primers, unless you get just some really generic stuff, and even then you're gonna be paying close to that. So like I said, they had quite a few different ones in there, some $7.99, some higher than this. So I just grabbed 3 sleeves of this again just because I didn't have any. And then next up, I actually found 1 box of 410 they did still have in there. It's just some regular Federal Top Gun, 7.5 shot, 2.5 inch, nothing special at all. Now this is as you can see there, just a standard 410. Now it is hybrid brass, so that's a good thing, but just some Target stuff. Like I said, this is the only box they had. It was $17.99. 410, I'm not really hurting on 410. I've got plenty to do what I need to do as far as my testing and all that. But the thing about 410, all y'all know out there, it's still one of the rarest rounds, period, out there. And it's still coming back the slowest of anything except, you know, really obscure stuff. So even though I've got enough, anytime I see 410, I'm going to grab a box or two, no matter if I get so much that it's stacked to the ceiling, because I'm not ever going to be in a situation where it's going to be tough for me to get again. And then the last thing from my local shop was something I was really excited to see in there. Some 4570 Federal Premium Hammer Down, 300 grain hammer down rounds. This stuff is some really good rounds. In the other calibers I've tested, I've tried it in 327 mag and something else. As you can see there, nice nickel plating and everything on it. Now this is some expensive stuff, 4570. This stuff was $54.99. You know, I say it's expensive, but all 4570 is. Right now, even at Wally World, it's $50 a box just for some Winchester Super X. So this should be some really, really good stuff here. So I'm looking forward to testing this. They had a big pile of it, but at $54.99, I only grabbed 2 boxes of it for now. And then from there, like I said, I had another care package sent out to me this week from Luke. So I really appreciate this. He sent me some really cool stuff to test. We'll start out here with this Underwood, the 9mm 70 grain Hero rounds. Now I know a lot of y'all are probably familiar with these. I'm not really familiar with these. They are solid copper projectile. I'm not sure if they're an expander or a fragmenter. I believe they're going to be a fragmenter. It looks like something like their version of the Civil Defense. Like I said, some of y'all out there probably run these. I've heard y'all mention these. You know, I'm just not real sold on these kind of specialty gimmick rounds, if you want to call them that. But, you know, we'll see how they do. I expect good performance out of them, but, you know, I'm just kind of funny about these. But anyway, it's a 70 grain 9mm Hero round. And then the next thing was another box of Underwood here. This time it's 380 ACP 68 grain maximum expansion. Now I know for sure there's at least one person who really wants to see me test these out there, besides Luke, obviously, that sent them, and there's probably a couple more who've mentioned them. Now I have no doubt these things are going to do some incredible expansion. They're going to open up really nice and big, but the penetration, I would be willing to bet right now, is going to be absolutely terrible as far as I'm concerned anyway. It's just another one of those specialty, again, if you want to call it gimmicky rounds, that I'm just not sold on. But I am looking forward to seeing what they actually do, and I'm curious to see if they'll prove me wrong on that penetration. And then the last couple things he sent me, believe it or not, are the ones I'm most looking forward to, even though technically I don't have a tool chambered in this yet, or do I? So what he sent me was some 25 auto. He sent me a box of FMJs here. First off, the 25 auto PPU, what is this, 50 grain? Yeah, 50 grain FMJ. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with 25 auto, but when you actually see one, you really can appreciate just how small this round is. I mean, it's really not much bigger than a 22 LR 22 Magnum as far as the case size. In matter of fact, it's hard to pick up your brass if you've got a lot of 22 LR laying around. It's not very easy to spot this brass. So anyway, he sent me a box of FMJ 25 auto there. And then he also sent me some 25 auto defensive stuff to test out. Winchester Super X 45 grain. This is their expanding point. This is a really cool little round here. I think he sent me a half a box of them. Really, really cool little round here. As you can see, it's actually got like a little BB in it, in the cavity in the front. So I'm very, very curious to see how these perform. I've never tested any like this in any caliber. So again, really looking forward to seeing what these do. And that was it for this week, y'all. I think it's going to be some really, really interesting testing out of some of these rounds. Personally, I'm most looking forward to this 4570 hammer down, and believe it or not, this 25 auto with the little BB in the front. I'm really curious to see how these do, but I think a lot of this stuff, or almost all of it's going to be some really interesting testing. But let me know what y'all think about the pickups this week. What are you looking forward to seeing in testing? And let me know if you got any scores in y'all's area on some ammo. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, reach down and click all those buttons. Like I said, that's an easy, free way to help out, and I really do appreciate that. Check out those affiliate links in the video description. If you're doing some shopping and you use those links first, anything you buy after that, I get a kickback from them towards the channel. Like I always tell you, I appreciate all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all out there for supporting the channel. Big thanks again to Luke for sending out this ammo for me to test. I've got tons of really good stuff headed y'all's way, so be on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.